This is TJ with TechMadeEZ. Welcome to the channel. My channel is all about making things affordable and practical and easy. And as you know, we're here because Windows 10 is coming end of life October 30th. And so this is the easiest way to upgrade your computer without doing a fresh install of Windows 11 and any computer, whether it's Windows 11 compatible or not. And it's all point and click. There's no going to command line, no editing the regedit or anything like that. It'll just automatically install Windows 11 on your current system, keeping all of your apps files intact. Now that being said, and I'll mention this again, you should still always do a backup of your important data before doing an upgrade like this. But for the most part, most of the time, this works fine to do an upgrade. Now, there are other options other than upgrading to Windows 11 or installing Windows 11 from scratch if you have a computer that's not compatible. But for me, I think, and I'm going to briefly go over those other options, but for me it's like kicking the can down the road. But you may need or want to put off going to Windows 11 for another year or two, and that is a possibility that you can do that. But at any rate, those of you that want to upgrade to Windows 11, don't want those other options, this is the easiest and best way, in my opinion, to upgrade your current operating system, Windows 10, to Windows 11, keeping your apps and data intact. Let's get started. So here I am on my Windows 10 desktop. Now this desktop is running on a PC that is not Windows 11 compatible, but it can run Windows 11 all day long. It's got 18 cores, 36 threads. It's a Xeon. It's blazing fast. Okay, this is a HP Z440. We have 3 of them in our house that we use. They use them for gaming. My wife uses one, and I'm not going to upgrade them anytime soon. And you may have a computer too that you feel is fine. And most computers, I would say maybe 8 years old, can run Windows 11 as long as you have 8 gigs of RAM. You really probably today should have 16 to 32, depending on if you're gaming or not. But most of your older PCs can run Windows 11. It's just that Windows 11 won't let it be installed with those incompatibilities. So we're going to use some software. It's all point and click. And if you've seen this before, if you've seen Rufus before, I don't see anybody that shows you how to upgrade Windows 11. They show you how to install a new install of Windows 11, but not an upgrade from Windows 10 to Windows 11. Now I will warn you that when you do this, you need to back your data up, whatever information you want, because sometimes when you're doing an upgrade instead of a fresh install, it can crash the system. But most of the time it works, but I have seen it fail before. So just be aware of that it's not always the safest way when you're upgrading. But this way works. So, but we need to cover a few things before we do that. Now, one thing I will say that was really kind of weird, I have Google Chrome installed on here, but when I went to download the ISO, Microsoft came up with an error. I don't know why, so I had to use Edge to do it. This is really kind of weird. I've never run into that problem before, but I ran into it now. So if you're using Google Chrome and you come up with an error of what I'm trying to show you, then use Edge to do it and you should have no problem. But you're going to notice here I have Steam installed, I have Shadow of the Tomb Raider, I have a free Office program here that I use that I have installed. In fact, Steam is right here. Once we install it, we're going to go ahead and hit play here for Shadow of the Tomb Raider, just to show you that everything's going to work. My Office program is right here. Again, this is a free one. That's the word processor. This is the spreadsheet, and we're going to see that all these things are going to work. And yes, we're going to see that Google Chrome also works. It does. Don't get me wrong, it works. I just can't download Windows 11 through Chrome. I don't know what happened. But we're going to need a few things, and we're going to discuss a few things. So let's go to our web here. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to download Windows 11, and we're going to download Rufus. And I am going to talk about the other solutions or options that you can still run Windows 11 past the October deadline. So, but for right now, let's go through the process. It's really easy to download this. If you've downloaded this, so we're just going to go download this page, and all the links will be listed below. We're just going to go down to where it says download Windows 11 image disks ISO. So you're just going to go down here. The only option you're going to have is Windows 11. You hit download, and it's just going to take a minute to refresh that. and then you're going to choose your language, and we're doing English, and then it'll say confirm. Now once that's confirmed, now you can download the 64-bit. So you hit download, it's downloaded. Now I already downloaded it, so I'm not going to download it. So it doesn't take that long to download it, but I've already done that. Rufus, the same thing. Again, Rufus, it'll be in the description, and sometimes it has these ads. So we'll go down here, and right here is where you download. And I usually download portable version of it, and it's right here. And so we'll just go ahead and download that, and it's really quick. I've already got it downloaded, so I'm not going to download that. But those are the two files that you need to download. Now what we're going to do here is let's check to make sure that this system really isn't compatible with Windows 11. The way you do that is you want to go to check for updates. So if we type in check for updates, or you go into your settings and go to check for updates, then once we're in the updates, we're going to scroll down here and it'll say we're going to check our hardware requirements for Windows 11. What it's going to do, though, it's going to take us to this web page, and it's going to want us to download an application, and it's going to want us to download this PC Health app. So you can click on it. So once you get to this page here, you're just going to hit download here, and then I've already downloaded it, so I'm not going to worry about downloading it right now. Once it's downloaded, it only takes seconds to download it. Once it's downloaded, just go ahead and launch it from whatever directory you downloaded it, and then it's going to be this app right here, and it's going to say check now. And it's going to return it really instantly, and it's going to see that I don't have TPM2, I have TPM 1.5, and the processor is not compatible. Now this processor, again, it's 18 cores, 38 or 36 threads. It's no problem. And most systems with 4 cores, 8 threads is not going to have a problem running Windows 11. So now what we need to do is, before we go through the install process of this, and it's really easy, really simple. It's all point and click. There's no going to the command. You don't have to go into the registry or nothing. But I do want to talk about your options. One of your options is you can pay for an extra year. It's like 30 bucks. Then it goes up after that. You can also give up all of your privacy with Windows. There's an agreement with Windows. If you turn on all your privacies, if you use Edge, they basically are extorting you to give up all of your privacy, and that's another way to extend Windows 10 as well. Another way that is really popular, it's going viral on YouTube right now, is this LTSC. It's a long-term service of Windows 10, and what it's made for businesses like a hospital. A lot of their machines are running Windows 10, and it's a major deal to upgrade those machines to Windows 11. So, and they have two different versions of this. One version is good until 2027. The other version is good until 2032. Now, I don't know if I'd want to be using an operating system that old, because one of the things about this operating system is that when you do this, and I'm not showing you how to do this, I'm just saying this is an option. I might make a video on how to do this. And one of the things that also, too, that I need to talk about is this one, you do have to have a license when you're installing it, or it won't let you run it. And there are places to get the license, but again, we're not talking about that right now. But you'll notice here that the version that it's running is 21H2. So it's going to be running an older version, and so some of the things that you're used to. So basically, when you install this, it's a little bit of a downgrade as far as versions go, and maybe there's certain specific apps or improvements that were done between 21 and H2, but some people are willing to go ahead and install that and use it anyway, just so they can keep on using Windows 10. But it's going to supply security, like I said, through 2027. And then the other one is this IoT Enterprise LTSC. And this one, again, is good until 2032. Again, you have to have a license to install it, so on and so forth. My personal opinion is I think you're just kicking the can down the road. And now, I wouldn't be suggesting this, but I've been running Windows 11 on non-conforming equipment for about 3 years now. No problem. I just run security updates. If there's a major update to it, then you would have to run this process again, like if they went from H224 to H225. That's a major upgrade, and so you may have to go through the same process that we're going through now. So anyway, let's go ahead. let's go ahead and go through this process. Now, before you install Windows 11 on here, there's a couple of things that you're going to want to do. And you're going to want to go ahead and click on your C drive, and you're going to want to go to Properties, and you're going to want to go to Tools. This is very important. Depending on how your system is set up, it may not be defragging. So you want to defrag your hard drive, which is right here, and you want to do this check disk. Now the check disk, it used to be in Windows 7, when you did a check disk, it made you reboot, and it would do the check disk before it went into Windows. They've changed that in Windows 10. I'm just going to click this here. What this does is this will scan for any errors on your hard drive. It'll scan for lost file allocations in the allocation table, so on and so forth. Depending on how much data you have, how full your hard drive is, this may take quite a bit of time. Okay, so what I'm going to do though is I want to go in and just run this from the command line really quick, and there's a couple of reasons why I want to do that. So let's just go ahead, type in CMD here, and we're going to run this as administrator. So this is our command prompt here. Okay, yes, and we're just going to type in check disk chkdsk, and then we're going to type in what drive we're doing. We're doing drive C, and now it's just going to go through. And now this is what it used to do when you used to run check disk before Windows 10. You'd have to reboot it, and at boot up it would run this. And so I'm just running it. I don't know if it's any different than running it through the GUI, but there it is. I mean, you could run it both. You could run it both ways if you want, but you're going to definitely want to do that, because sometimes Windows it gets what they call lost. It has a file allocation table, and that file allocation table can get corrupt. Windows will still run if it's corrupt, but Windows will run slower. So that is one thing that you can do to help the performance of your computer as well, is to do a check disk every now and then, just to make sure that the file allocation is organized where Windows can run properly. That's all we need to do there. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take Rufus. Okay, so at this point you're going to want to stick your USB into your computer. Now my USB is a larger USB, and Rufus, if it's a larger than maybe 64 megabytes, sometimes when you go into Rufus, if you don't see your drive here, just say show advanced drive properties, list USB drive, and if it's a larger one, like this is 256, it'll show up there. And this is just a spare drive that I have that I use for stuff like this. It's a faster drive. Like I mentioned at the beginning, it helps if your install USB is a faster drive. It doesn't matter, it'll just take more time. So then what we want to do is we want to select our ISO, and here's our Windows 11 ISO, and now we're just going to hit start. Now this is crucial at this point. You're going to want to check all these boxes if they're not already checked. So, and what these do is this creates a local account, so you're not signed into Microsoft. This removes the requirement of the Microsoft account, removes the hardware requirements also, but it also removes any data collection, and it'll remove BitBlocker. It doesn't remove BitBlocker, but when you install Windows 10, Windows 11, a lot of times BitBlocker will install automatically and be activated. And so just hit OK, and it's just warning you that everything's going to be erased. And then you just let it create that install disk, and then we'll install Windows 11. We'll upgrade our Windows 10 to Windows 11. Alright, once it says ready, then you can just close this, and now we can install Windows 11. Okay, before we make this upgrade, I want to make one thing really clear, and that is right now, at the time I'm making this, it's Windows 11 24H2. Well, they might come out with 25H2. 25H2 is a major upgrade, and so you may have to do this process again if you want to go to 25H2. You don't have to do that. For me, I always set my updates to do security updates only. But some of these updates do give you new features and everything, and so you may want to do that. So if it comes to where it's a major upgrade, where they actually change the number from 22 to 23 to 24, 25, then you may have to do this same process over. But you could always try it first. Just let you know that is a possibility that may end up happening if they have a major upgrade to Windows 11. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we need to close all of our applications that we have open. We've already defragged, we've already done a check disk, so we're just going to we're just going to close everything, and we're going to start the install. Now this part here is pretty simple. Let's just open up our file manager, and we've got our disk right here that we just created, and you don't have to reboot the computer or anything like that. You're just going to run the setup program right here. So we're just going to click on setup, hit yes. This is a real easy, simple process. I think it only asks you maybe one question or something. You don't have to worry about the screen here. You're just going to want to hit next, and it's going to do any updates that it needs to do. I'm going to close the file manager. We're going to hit accept. And basically at this point you just sit back, and it'll have maybe a question or two down the road, but this usually takes a little while to do this upgrade. And depending on how fast your USB drive is will also depend on how fast this upgrade works as well. Okay, when you see this, you're just going to hit accept and move on. So don't panic if you see that it says it's not compatible. It'll still do the upgrade. So when you get to the screen, all I was just going to say is that if you want to install Windows 11 Pro, because we're replacing Windows 10 Pro, and then keep your personal files. So just hit install. Now, one of the mistakes I made, I probably should have done an update before I did this, because it had to do the update before it started the install, so it was taking a little bit longer. So if you want, just go ahead and update your Windows 10 and then do this process, and it won't have to update while it's update first and then install. And once it restarts, then you can go ahead and remove your USB. It's probably best that you do that so it doesn't try to boot off your USB, and it'll just finish the install off of your Windows 10 drive. Okay, so again, the computer might reboot a few more times going through this install, but you just sit back, and depending on the speed of your computer, your drives and everything will depend on how long this takes. Okay, so when you get to this screen right here, you're just going to leave everything the way it is, because you don't want to turn any of those on. Those are all your telemetry, and we don't want any telemetry, so we're just going to hit accept. And now it's installed. I don't know why it gives this message about the paging file, but you can just hit OK. It's just going to do it. Hit apply here. Hit OK. We're done. So I'm going to just reboot this really quick, and then we'll open up our app. So I just like to reboot it after it does that initial install. So let's go ahead and reboot it, and we'll be back. Alright, so I've rebooted Windows 11 again, and here we are. I've got Steam already logged into Steam. We'll go ahead and hit play here, and while that's launching, we'll go ahead and launch my word processor, launch my spreadsheet. Everything's working. I'm going to close those. Here's Google Chrome, and so on and so forth. So we'll go ahead and hit play. I've muted the sound here. Okay, so I've just launched into Tomb Raider here. It's playing in 4K. I just wanted to show that everything is working the way it was before. Okay, so there you have it. We have our new Windows 11 update, and we are good to go. All right, so now we have Windows 11 running and all of our apps are working. So I hope that was helpful. It's really not that hard, obviously, as you've seen here, to upgrade from Windows 10 to Windows 11 on any PC, not just PCs that are unconforming. Okay, so really quick, I just wanted to show you that everything's working fine. Now that we've upgraded to Windows 11, I just wanted to show you how easy it was to upgrade to Windows 11 from Windows 10, whether it's Windows 11 compatible or not. This is the easiest way for you to do an upgrade to Windows 11. This is TJ with TechMadeEZ. Hope that was helpful. Have a great day. Thanks.
Now that was easy peasy.